Notice anything, guys? Notice anything? Maybe I kind of escaped. Baby. Just kidding, of course, as always, guys. What is going on? This is the jailbird. The prisoner. The club of the man. 1993. And we are live from the city county jail. Just kidding. We are live for my live review of last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. I'm only a day late on reviewing an episode of Dynamite. It's been a while since I've been just only a day late of reviewing a wrestling show on this channel. Feels good. Hopefully, I've been busy, I'm still busy, but, trying to find a groove to get in, to keep things popping on this channel. As for a while, we were going almost 2 weeks without any content. But luckily, I am, again, trying to put effort to get caught up again with this channel and boom some things out of here, which will be pretty awesome to, again, get rolling. As I keep saying, and I repeat myself a lot, and I know, and I'll shut up and I'll get to the actual review. But yes, in case you're wondering, why am I dressed up as a jailbird? Well, obviously, this weekend is Halloween, and today at work, it was the costume contest day, and I literally, super last minute, forgot about it. Didn't have time to really run out and get a new costume, so I just grabbed something from my closet. So, the best thing I could really think of to wear to work that was easier for me to have access in case I had to go to the bathroom is just like a two-piece outfit. So, I wore my old jailbird costume that the last time I wore this costume was 9 years ago, during my freshman year of college, at the Halloween party that year. Of course, as you can see here, I'm wearing my cuffs, but they're broke. This was an accident. I think what happened was I was going like this a lot with the cuffs, and it just, cheap plastic, it broke. So, yes, it looked like I escaped prison or something like that. But I thought I would stay in costume and in character for this review. Let's talk about Dynamite, though. Last night's edition, the October 27th, 2021 edition of Dynamite that took place, in Boston, Massachusetts. I definitely like this week's episode better than last week's episode. Last week's was solid. It wasn't a hateable episode. I came out of that, though, the main event last week was good. But the way it ended at first, I was like, they missed an opportunity here. But this week, they kind of went in an interesting direction with that missed opportunity. Showing that AEW, sits down and goes, okay, what worked, what didn't work, what could we done this and that. And I like what we got. There was a couple little, minor little things I want to talk about also. Of course, the botched finish in the opening match. And, believe it or not, a match I thought should have ended in a DQ. Or no contest. I know I hate that because WWE has beaten it to death, but I think it would have been very appropriate, though, for the feud that we got. But without further ado, as I do have a curfew, I gotta get back to my cell. Just kidding. Let's roll in, though, and talk about this episode of Dynamite. We've got Tyler in the live chat. He gave this show a C, okay? He can't take AEW serious because Adam Page was wearing one of the ghost costumes. AEW is full of their egos. He did 2 reviews. I want the big gold belt back, then the Universal Championship, that as well. So yeah, Tyler definitely been expressing his recent, he's not the biggest fan of AEW. If you're not the biggest fan, that's fine. Like I said, to me, AEW is just really the only wrestling show right now that's keeping my wrestling fandom alive. Because, again, Raw, SmackDown, I've peeked at an episode here and there. I actually did check out a little bit of Raw this past week. But, of course, I was very hurt and turned off by the changed theme song of Damian Priest. But, I don't watch NXT. I haven't watched a single episode or any sort of NXT content since NXT TakeOver 36. Like I said, that was my series finale. I think it's going to stay that way right now. I haven't watched any NXT, no NXT UK, barely any Raw or SmackDown. Like I said, AEW, I'm enjoying it. It's not perfect. Obviously, they have some home runs, some strikeouts, but um, I'm not going to be some mark say, oh, WWE sucks, AEW is the best. No, AEW ain't perfect. Again, I'm going to talk about a missed opportunity they had on this show. I thought that, to me, I was like, I would like it better if they did it this way, but like I said, this show just, to me, is just what's keeping my wrestling fandom alive. Because, like I said, if it was for this, I probably would not be watching wrestling right now, because I just can't find anything to enjoy in it other than content from AEW. He also says we did not get any Raw versus SmackDown versus Raw warfare at Survivor Series. It's still going to be that way, though. I think I heard, though, unfortunately. But without further ado, though, let's roll into this review. I do have next part of my Harry Potter Let's Play, which actually is almost done exporting, so you'll see that tonight. As I'm just about done with my Half-Blood Prince Let's Play, which, of course, we'll get to that, that another time. But let's roll in and talk about this show. Dynamite. The show opens up with a pretty solid match with CM Punk, and he wants some Bobby Fish. He is now the next person to take a gamble in the $1 million question of 2020 that Matt Riddle asked us. How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? Okay, I've done that several times. I definitely gotta move on from that. But it's still, gotta just mention it once. And it was a solid match. They are, to my surprise, giving Bobby Fish a little bit of a bigger spotlight than I thought he would. Because, again, I just still see Bobby Fish as a tag team wrestler. I don't know if it's because he was injured a lot in NXT, and I didn't really get to see him shine much as a single star, or he was just overshadowed by the rest of the Undisputed Era, but I did see him as a single star. But I'll give it to him. Like, his match with Bryan Danielson, his match with Punk he had here, not bad. Like, he was working as, a smart, qualified, technical wrestler, I thought. I thought him and Punk put on a pretty good match. The only downside to this match, though, was that finish. That finish was very weird. Punk hits Fish with a GTS, which there was also a point in the match towards the end also where Punk tried hitting the GPS on Fish. Fish caught his leg and countered it, which I thought was a pretty nice counter. But Punk hit the GTS, and it looked like he was about to win. Punk goes to pin Fish. 1, 2, 3, but kick out. Bobby Fish just randomly kicked out. Now, Fish did not throw like a fit or anything after that, so I don't know if that was like supposed to happen or what, but it was a weird looking finish. Like, no offense, again, like I said before, I gave Bobby Fish a little more credit. He's definitely standing out to me a little bit more as a single star than I thought he ever would in my eyes. But at the same time, though, why do they have to have like a near fall finish like that where Bobby Fish has to kick out, has to look like he's trying to kick out of a GTS? Like, no offense, again, Bobby Fish, as as decent as he's doing, I don't think he should be one kicking out of like finishing maneuver, especially a big one like the GTS. But like I said, he still won, but it was just a weird looking kick out. But Punk wins the match. He still remains undefeated. We'll see what's next. We had this really, really nice promo with Malachi Black. He says how, yes, Cody thinks, he won when he beat him last week, but here's the thing. He may have thought he won the battle, but in reality, he lost the war. He made Cody Rhodes' whole family lose faith in him. He split the Nightmare family, and he made the whole crowd hate Cody Rhodes. Which I'm like, oh boy. So, like I said, last week, I thought the big missed opportunity was they had Cody win. And he shook hands with Arn Anderson and seemed to make up. To me, I was just like, that's like again, I just thought it was a big missed opportunity. I thought they should have had Cody win there. I mean, Malachi win again, or have Cody win, but just like, go through that dark side, that crazy side of him, that heelish side we've been waiting to see, the corporate heel we want to see from Cody for a while. But I feel like that promo honestly fixed it. Well, both guys had promos. Well, Cody had his promo later on when he responded to Black, but basically it was like, basically one of those things where it was just like, I won, tough, I still did this. Like, how did he come back from that, basically? Like, the comeback that he had. Like, basically, Black's promo was, you may have won last week, but it wasn't about pinfalls, it was about the fact that I still ruined your life, even though you beat me, and that's not enough. Which is really going to send, Cody Rhodes to a different, stage, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but great promo there. MJF comes out and squashes Brian Donovan very quickly. He then gets on the mic and runs down Boston and says pinning shoulders on mats and being rats is what he does best. But he's going to have to skip the rats tonight because he'd rather shove his junk in a blender than go anywhere with anyone here. He does an impression of everybody's mothers, calls the local ascent disgusting, and then he also talks about Darby Allin, who made a mistake interrupting him when he was telling everyone he deserves to be AEW World Champion. And now Darby's apparently too scared to show up for work. MJ was like, well, I get it, Darby. I'd be scared too, given that he knocked also out Sting with his lovely Dynamite Diamond Ring. You don't care who leads the title Full Gear because you look at the past, the present, and the future. Basically claiming his spot in line. And then Sting's music plays, and it's like the last time we saw Sting, MJF beat him down this past Saturday. But then, of course, MJF starts laughing. It's like, haha, I fooled you, and he's chilling there with Shawn Spears, and the lights go out. And then MJF's like, okay, enough, guys, this is getting funny. And then Spears was like, dude, that's not me. And then they play this very strange, parody remix of MJF's theme music, followed by a random video pack of Darby Allin beating up a dude dressed like MJF, and then it says, now it's time to beat you physically. Lights turn back on, there's Sting in the ring, and he he tries to go at it with Shawn Spears and Wardlow, and then he takes him out, but then MJF tries to run away, but in the crowd behind him, sure enough, was returning Darby Allin, who was wearing a trench coat and had a what's it called? A skateboard with spikes on it, which was nice. Of course, he was able to attack Spears and Wardlow. Well, Wardlow took the attacks, but MJF ran off. And then Darby says, at Full Gear, you and I challenge them to a match. Will MJF accept? No. Find out later. Which I'm sure he will, but he'll probably find some way to get out of it. Again, I definitely love what they've done with MJF though and Darby Allin, taking the two upstart young guys and having them collide with each other to see who really is the future, and I love it. Excellent promo there. Britt Baker was being interviewed by Tony Schiavone before she defended the title against Ty Conchi at what's it called now? Full Gear. She has to defend it on Friday against Abaddon in a trick or treat match. Which, of course, that sounds definitely like something that WWE would do, but AEW, of course, at least doesn't make it super insulting, but we'll see how it goes with that. We had an excellent TNT title match with Sammy Guevara and All Ego Ethan Page. And of course, the stipulation was if Sammy lost, he would have had to leave the Inner Circle. But if Sammy won, then the Inner Circle has to pick the 5 members of the opposing team for for the Men of the Year and whatnot. Which I have a feeling that newsflash, Sammy Guevara won. Excellent match. I was still wondering. I kind of hope they win the Men of the Year and the America's Top Tag Team. I kind of hope they win at Full Gear. Because even though, of course, we'll see, Chris Jericho, probably beat down Dan Lambert, I really think that Ethan Page deserves some type of bone to be thrown to him. And of course Scorpio Sky as well, but ever since, they've been brought in, they've been on, the losing side in these big matches. I mean, yeah, they're winning on, dark and dark elevation, but like I said, it's like they still have not gotten a chance to really, shine and get the victories. So I kind of hope that they do win at Full Gear. But, that was a good promo, an excellent match against Sammy Guevara is killing it as TNT champion, as he should be, and he definitely deserved this. So I like that. And of course, since Sammy won the match, they cut the promo again about, they get to pick which 5 to represent America's Top Tag Team. We also had this interview with Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston. Kingston takes offense to Bryan saying that he doesn't work hard. He says how his depression turns to anger and he's living his dreams, so he's done listening, he's ready to fight. Bryan, though, says that that's the Eddie Kingston he wants to see, though, and there's so many people in the locker room that go through the same crap, and he's going to go ahead and prove that he is the best, as always. Good stuff there. Lucha Bros agreed to put the World Tag Titles on the line against FTR Full Gear. Okay. Of course, FTR won the AAA Tag Titles recently off of them just like 2 weeks ago. Okay, here is where I'm going to nitpick at. So we have this first round TBS title match with Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb. Just recently, a couple weeks ago, we had Hikaru Shida face Serena Deeb, and Serena Deeb beat Shida right before she was about to get her 50th victory, be the first female of 50 victories. And she attacked Shida with the title champion, with the award afterwards. So my storyline was like, okay, you got to make that 50th win feel special. Why not, have her, keep losing, or, even, have, Serena Deeb, fight out of it, like a cowardly way or whatnot, when basically she's met her match and whatnot. But here, although it was an excellent match, don't get me wrong, they actually had Shida pin Deeb to win the match. And afterwards, Deeb attacks Hikaru Shida with, like, a steel chair, which may have, written out Shida for the rest of this TBS Championship tournament. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why did they have to... Like, this is... The thing was if the 50th win wasn't on the line, I wouldn't have minded as much. But since her 50th win's on there, it's like, make it special. To me, this felt like very rushed, very random. Like, they could have actually, had like a better circumstance, I feel like, to have the match, to have that 50th win feel big. Because to me, it was just like, the win happened, whatever, and then, they do their own little spew. So, yeah, I definitely would have maybe... I would have been okay, honestly, with a DQ. That way, Deeb, didn't get pinned. Well, she would have gotten her 50th win some way, somehow, but since it was by DQ, but, maybe it wouldn't have worked. No, dang it. I would have just still... I'm getting tired now. I'm losing my train of thought. But I would have not had Hikaru Shida beat Serena Deeb clean here. Like, if you wanted to, write her out of the tournament, I think they should have at least, like, like a tag for decision was made. Or the chaos should have happened then. Because, like I said, that 50th win should have felt more special. So, nitpick there, but, whatever. Shida wins, but then Serena Deeb beats her down afterwards to probably, just, have her removed from the tournament. Dante Rush and Leo Martin interview again backstage, and Leo says on Friday Matt Sydal will learn a lesson, and we cut the break there. John Moxley completely squashed number 10s of Dark Order, Preston Vance, ripped open the mask and bit his eye, and basically just like no-sold him and then got the heck out of there. John Moxley's definitely getting more malicious, which I definitely enjoy seeing out of him. Okay. Then we got this promo with Cody Rhodes, responding to Malachi Black's. And the crowd... Malachi Black's promo. The crowd is already booing Cody Rhodes. But rather than, of course, like a John Cena or, like a Roman Reigns or whatever, they were the faces of the companies. Cody Rhodes acknowledged the fans and their actions. He says, believe it or not, I hear you. For a brief moment when he had Malachi Black's arms hooked to a Tiger Driver 98, he thought about hitting a different move, but what would have happened if he hit that move? We would have seen and broken the covenant to not challenge for the world title. If you're good to boo the narratives, boo the narratives. And don't forget the man that built this company, and he takes his shoes off and throws them into the crowd and asks for people to put their feet in his shoes. He talks about his family and says the easy way out is not only the way. He will not turn. He apologizes to everybody and says that it's all honor to stand to the ring with Arn. And he shakes hands, basically saying that, again, I ain't turning. He said in an interview he said on live TV, he ain't turned to that dark side. But obviously Malachi Black is still lurking around, and now he's a an ally, because Andrade El Idolo came out, who told Cody people like him, people don't like him. And the difference between the two of them is that Andrade doesn't care about the people. He calls Cody's neck tattoo stupid, says he's getting into his business and he can make him his little bitch. The lights go down, and then out came Malachi Black, and they all brawled. They took out Cody and Arn Anderson, and we're getting a match on Friday with Cody Rhodes and Andrade El Idolo. Very random alliance there, but we'll see where it goes. But like I said, I lost my train of thought completely. Never mind. But that was good there. Very good segment. Like I said, I love that. Again, Cody Rhodes is acknowledging that the crowd wants him to go to the dark side. He's not going to happen, but like I said, he always has the opportunity to do so, which I think will be a very nice swerve there for sure. And the Dark Order took on the Elite in the main event. The Dark Order was dressed up in some costumes, which yes, looked a little hokey, but like I said, it's AEW. I trust that they actually are trying to make this work and not purposely insult us, which was why I get sick of WWE. But towards the end of the match, some guy dressed as a horse was brought out, and he thought he was a member of the Dark Order, but instead ended up being Brandon Cutler tied underneath. Hangman Adam Page appeared out of a freaking marshmallow costume and took everybody out for him to be involved in the match. Look, I definitely know a lot of people probably think that scene was definitely hokey, because that's something that WWE would do, and just overdo it. Again, AEW hasn't overdone it yet. They haven't overdone it yet. It's not boring to me. It's not insulting. So it's like, good whatever. But that's how the show went off the air, and I'm getting sleepy and I'm going to bed. I got a shower, so I may check out the new Mario Party when it happens. But I definitely have a video upload for Harry Potter, so I'll do that as well. But yep. I don't know when I'll see you guys next. Hopefully again soon, but definitely get the Seinfeld reviews popping again. And yeah, that's that. So guys, once again, what are your thoughts on Dynamite this week? I gave it a B+. A couple of nitpicks, like I said, with I would have rather had a DQ finish for Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb. That way to protect Hikaru Shida's 50th victory for an even bigger moment. The botched finish with Bobby Fish and CM Punk, no big deal. But other than that, great episode. I gave it a B+. Check the live chat first before I go off the air here. Again, I am getting sleepy. Tara says that AJ needs a face turn. I agree, yes. Who's the worst tag team in wrestling? Boy. It's tough because they make all of them feel very irrelevant. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But I'm going to go to bed, guys. Again, thank you for joining me live. I'll head back to the cell, but just kidding. That's going to do it again for my live review of Dynamite. Guys, what are your thoughts on Dynamite for this week? Gave it a B+. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, ManBody3. Till then, guys, I'm checking out. I'm going to bed. Have a good night, everybody. Peace out, everybody, as well.
No